What's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? It is your boy, MM2K, back again with another one. You know what I'm saying? All right, this one's not going to be too long. I know I say that. I know I say that quite often. Now, the reason why you heard that second set of claps is because PNTSnetwork.com/E3 2018 will be hosting all my streams during the week of E3. Okay, check them out. Definitely, they're actually running shows that are going on right now. Retro shows. You know, they're pretty much 24/7. There have been some hiccups here and there, but you know, they jump right on it and make sure that everything is streaming for your listening and viewing pleasure. So again, go to PNTSnetwork.com/E3 2018 and you can see all of my streams that I'm running from my YouTube channel and so forth. You can also see the various streams that are happening all over E3, you know, the Coliseum, all that other stuff. So check that out there. All right. So, as you guys can see the title, I want to make sure I get it actually right. Something's okay. My PC's has been acting up, and I should have reset the mug before I even started the stream. But it is what it is. For those of you that can, oh man, this is real bad. This is super bad. All right, so for those of you that can see the I'm going to be talking about E3 2018, the best of the showcases, and then I want to talk a little bit about the state of the gaming community altogether, because there's some things that I've been seeing that have troubled me. All right, so let me see if I can restart this, because my web browser is cutting up. All right, let's see here. Let's get back to the YouTubes. I don't know what the hell was hanging it up, man. All right, YouTube is cool. Damn, man, I've been killing it, man. I've been killing it, and mute that. Okay. I've been killing it, bro. I've been killing it as far as doing all these goddamn streams. Okay. And let me just pull Twitter up too, because that was some interesting conversations and a big part of the reason why I'm here right now. Okay. I think everything is copacetic. All right, so here's what's going on, my friends. I wanted to do my best of the E3 showcases. I wanted to do that. But read no reply. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm having an issue with Mixer. There's all types of problems. More money, more problems. All right. Connect. Mixer one cut up. Of course. All right, we good to go. I don't know what the hell's going on. Mixer's been messed up over at E3. It's not a good look. Microsoft, not a good look. Anyway, all right. So, I wanted to. I was plagued in the mind as far as deciding how I was going to do my ratings, not only for the E3 shows, but for the game of the show. Right. I didn't know if I wanted to do a video in the style of my homie King's Blood. You know, he dropped the dope video where he talked about, in his opinion, who won out of Microsoft and Sony. I didn't know if I wanted to do, you know, one of those videos or if I wanted to do what I'm doing right now. So I was sitting there lounging in my bed, and big ups to my homie. This is my homie. Everybody that rocks out with your boy, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man. I'm nobody special. I appreciate all of y'all, the attention that y'all give to my platform, and the simple fact that y'all patient with me. Like I said, I'm on CP time. I told y'all 11 o'clock here. I ain't start streaming till 11:17. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all. With that being said, one of my homies that follows my platform, Jovengog, off on Twitter. So he put a tweet out there, okay? And again, this ain't nothing bad. This is, this fosters discussion. This fosters discussion, and I think it's real important. So he says, he sends a tweet out to a bunch of us, and he says, "Come on, my Xbox family, trying to downplay Ghost of Tsushima, knowing we have nothing on the horizon that is comparable. Y'all looking silly out here, fam." You know what I'm saying? And let me see if I can move this over here, so y'all can see the tweet as well. As I'm going through the timeline. Let's see here. All right. So we got that there. Let's do one of these numbers. Boom. All right. That's what he says. Again, come on, my Xbox family. Trying to downplay Ghost of Tsushima. Knowing we have nothing on the horizon that is comparable. Y'all looking silly out here, fam. All right. So then I respond, because it woke me up, man. I was laying in the bed. I checked my phone. And, one of the things that I do is I check my Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm a Twitter junkie. So then I responded, "Bruh, stop holding the litmus to what Xbox is doing. They've lost. On its own merits, Ghost of Tsushima looks unpolished and stiff. It looks like the first Tekken meets Kung Fu off the NES. It needs more time in the oven, bruh. We'll see what it looks like when it comes out." All right. So he responds, "Ever heard the saying, don't throw stones if you live in a glass house? The quality of our exclusive on Xbox lately have been so terrible compared to competition. We are the last ones that should be critiquing anyone's new titles, especially a game that's maybe 2 years out." And he says, "Obviously the game is still in development. To be honest, it looks better than Crackdown 3 and State of Decay." So then I respond to that. At the end of the day, it's about being gamers and holding a reasonable litmus to all games so we get the best. Bro, you done inspired me to get my lazy ass out of the bed to do my E3 stream. Stay tuned. You about to get schooled, homie. Give me about 20, which was a goddamn lie, because I'm on CP time. But very, very important discussion. I appreciate my boy, giving his thoughts and all that other stuff. Like I said, ain't never nothing personal. Philosopher Doom in the chat. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? So here's my thoughts on that, man. Here's why I had a problem with that. Like I said in the response to my man Jay, we need to stop holding the litmus against other consoles. We need to stop comparing to the lowest common denominator. Okay. Now, what do I mean by that? Look, man. Fact of the matter is, when it comes to pumping out AAA material, when it comes to that litmus alone, we know that Microsoft ain't running the same race that Sony is running, okay? All right. Let me use the 50-yard dash as an analogy. You for those of you that aren't aware, 50-yard dash is one of the most common denominators when it comes to sports. It's what's used to determine how fast somebody is, whether it's basketball, whatever. When you run that 50-yard dash, that pretty much is the common denominator of what your speed is. Football, basketball, baseball, whatever the case may be, okay? People see how you can run that 50-yard dash. So say you're running a 50-yard dash against somebody, right? The objective of the 50-yard dash is to try to get your fastest time ever. Is to try to get the fastest time possible, right? Because the fastest time you get, the more impressive your speed ranking will be, and then the more, opportunities you'll present for yourself, right? So, let's just say you're running a 50-yard dash with somebody. And they normally pair people up in the 50-yard dash because commonly running against somebody else, it increases the challenge and makes you work harder. So they usually put at least one person against you when you're running a 50-yard dash. Now, in the Olympics, they don't. They do it, but normally in schools and stuff like that, they have you run the 50-yard dash against somebody else to give you your challenge. Super professionals, they don't need to do that. They already got themselves trained and all other stuff. They don't need to have somebody else competing with them on the field in order for that challenge to come out of them. But normally anywhere else where people are continuing to build, okay? I say again, when people are continuing to build and hone their craft and continuing to build on what they're offering, as far as being an athlete. Remember that term, continue to build. When they're continuing to build on that craft, they usually compete with somebody else to help, bring up the challenge factor and help them perform better. So say if you're running the 50-yard dash, me and you're running it. You're trying to make the best time. We line up. On your march, get set, go, bang. You start running, right? You're going as fast as you can. Now, of course, it's common. As you are getting past the halfway point, you have a tendency to look, to your peripherals to see where your competition is at. So let's just say under that scenario, you check your peripherals, right? And you notice I'm back there still tying my shoes. Right? If you stop and slow down because I'm tying my shoes, you're still defeating the point of your objective. I'm not your objective. I'm just a factor in the equation to help you perform better. Your objective is to get the fastest time possible. To continue to hone your craft and present more for people that are investing into you as an athlete. Just because you see me lackadaisical and me tying my shoes doesn't mean you stop running a race as fast as you can. You keep moving. And that, my friends, is how I evaluate gaming. And why, bless his heart, but why I think off track thoughts like how my man Jay said in Twitter are way off base. Microsoft is sitting back tying the shoes somewhere. They're waiting for the race to be over so they can sell Sony the trophy. That's what Microsoft is trying to do. They're not trying to compete with Sony. They're trying to sell Sony goods and services to help them do even better. So just because they're tying their shoes doesn't mean that you stop the race. This is technology. Whenever you're in a technological field, you always got to push innovation. You always got to bring more to the people. You don't base your litmus on the lowest common denominator. So when it comes to AAA titles, and if you want to do something as extreme as come to E3, right? This is a lot of balls. Come to E3. Say that we're just going to focus primarily on 4 titles or 4 exclusives. So you pretty much have 4 staples holding up the building. Excuse me. Sprinkled with some multiplats, right? You basically do that, and 2 out of the 4 either look incomplete or they look like that the developer has no idea what they want the end product to be. Slash or hashtag Death Stranding. You can't sit there and say, we because I prefer a console, I can't say nothing about Ghost of Tsushima because it's on another platform that said person doesn't prefer. No. Said person should call out the bullcrap on their console and pull out the bullcrap anywhere else. For the simple fact, at the end of the day, we're gamers. We're not in the studio making these games. This is just what we prefer. We need to be vocal about everything. We need to be fair and honest about it, but we need to be vocal about everything. We're gamers. We're not Xboxers or PlayStationers. We're gamers. Well, I'm not. And again, to do something unprecedented and extreme and ballsy as hell, to just again have 4 pillars of your showcasing to be Last of Us, Spider-Man, Death Stranding, and Ghost of Tsushima, and 2 of those pillars were not strong. And you want to just sit there and damage control it. Oh, hold on. This pillar look all right. Just hold this up with me. What you're going to end up doing is, because the support the house doesn't have enough support, and you trying to hold up that beam, and you possibly don't have the strength to hold up that beam, you calling people over to damage control with you and hold up that beam, you're putting more people at risk because it's going to collapse on everybody. So all of y'all sitting there making excuses for Ghost of Tsushima, the roof is going to fall on all y'all dumbasses. Please. Ghost of Tsushima look like Tekken meets Kung Fu. It's not ready. No, it wasn't ready. And again, if it was within the trove of games that Sony showed, a trove of games that Sony showed, it'd be here nor there, just like, okay, they're showing progress in gameplay. But no, they told you the staple of our presentation, what we have to offer you. And again, this is a showcase, people. Remember this. Nowhere else do you go to a showcase, look at something that's incomplete and be like, yeah, I'm fully, you, that's dope. It's incomplete and it's dope. You go to a showcase where they show cars, whatever. They're showing you stuff that even if it's still not, if it's not 100% ready yet, it looks polished on what they show you. Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding did not look polished as far as gameplay. Ghost of Tsushima didn't even look polished to watch. It looked boring and bland. Death Stranding, okay, visuals look great, but as far as gameplay, it looked like, I swear, it looked like Metal Gear Survive. So we need to stop this mind state that I have to look at everything of a prism of what these two consoles are doing. No, you judge the games on its own merits. Now, don't get me wrong. I like to get into the fanboy banter here and there. I tried to troll the PlayStation Nation by renting my PlayStation 4 and it backfired in my face. I've done things where I've said I'm a free agent to the Xbox Nation to get them riled up and to finally get their senses, going and get them realizing that they got to stop damage controlling this stuff. Yeah, I get into the, and then, I've been on multiplayer podcasts before. I've said my thing, dogging Sony and Microsoft a couple days ago. Yeah, but I know when to put my foot in and I know when to step out. I don't consistently have the look through the glaze of the fanboy console war on how I rate everything. Well, it's better than Sony. Well, then it's better than Microsoft. No. Again, I use this analogy all the time. It's like comparing the shit sandwich to the cup of piss. Of course, 9 out of 10 people would rather take just swallow a small cup of piss to eating a whole shit sandwich if a gun was pointed to their head and they had to make a choice. But we're not in that situation. It's not a binary choice. I don't like what Microsoft's doing, so I love what Sony's doing, and vice versa. It's not a binary choice because that is putting us in a box as gamers. We got to look at each individual project individually and stop just trying to be easy and be lazy about the shit and just just paint everything with a broad brush. I like God of War, so therefore I'm going to love everything that Sony does. No. And the last thing I want to address, my man Jay was talking about how can we can't say nothing about Ghost of Tsushima because we ain't got nothing out now that looks as good as Ghost of Tsushima. Look, here's the thing. That's a false narrative. You're comparing something. Number one, if what gets you off on gaming is just looking at aesthetics and leaves and stuff like that and not having any gameplay, there's a bunch of you out there like that. I mean, I've had people tell me that they'd rather take a banging story than good gameplay any day. There is that demographic out there. If you fit under that umbrella, then fine. But the rest of us, we want some decent type of gameplay. Okay? Maybe it's just me. Personally, on a personal level, I'm going to just keep it real with you. Me and my wife, not too long ago, we were having a discussion about somebody that we knew that was having a bachelor party. Okay? And then my wife was laughing, joke, man, that's all we do. We cut up all day, man. We some nutcases, man. The kids look at us like we're sick. I know they can't wait to get out of our damn house. But we're sitting there, we're not arguing, but, we're cutting up about going to this bachelor party. She's like, yeah, you know, strippers. And, oh, man, who is this? Mike's is cutting up. Vaughn is just sitting there trying to call me. Let me turn this down. I don't do no damn Vaughnage. The hell they calling me for? So anyway, so we're sitting there laughing and joking, and she's like, "Yeah," and the stripper's trying to put the breasts all over you and all this other. And I'm like, "Man, please, look, let me explain something to you, baby doll. Let me explain something to you. I was never the strip club type, never. Seeing something just never did it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was never to see something and to give you my money just because you showing me something. I can pull out a video and you show me something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an action dude. So if I can't touch, you ain't getting my stash, man. If I can't grab, you can't get into my stash. No, I was never a strip club type of dude. So all y'all that's happy with Ghost of Tsushima because the visuals and the leaves is flying, all this stuff, and that stiff ass animation, and y'all say that that's fire? No, there's nothing fire about that. This is games. There's got to be good gameplay. We saw none of that. Shit looked stiff and horrible. Like my man, the real master, he pulled it out perfectly. He said it looked like, hit square here, hit circle here, hit up here. You know what I'm saying? It looked like a QTE, and they just hit the QTE screen. It did not look fluid. That's not how samurai slice shit. Come on, man. Stop it. Cyrus Burke in the chat. What's up? 706 Gamer. What's up? Philosopher Dude said, look at those leaves. Whoa. Yeah, exactly. Come on, man. Stop it. So, to the point that my man Jay was trying to make, man. Look. Here's the real deal, Holyfield. Man, this generation's been lackluster in comparison to past, man. No groundbreaking experiences, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, last generation, just going off of last generation. I can't even go to the sixth generation. I don't have enough time to go over all the nuances and the crazy new ideas that went on in the sixth generation. But just going off the last generation. We had Gears, Mass Effect, Bioshock, Rainbow Six Vegas, Borderlands, Uncharted, Dark Souls. Those were all like new and fresh experiences. Gears with the co-op, Mass Effect with the everything, Bioshock with the RPG action element. That's when the RPG action it coined a new gaming genre. Rainbow Six Vegas with the new way of the tactical shooter. You know what I'm saying? Borderlands with the engine that gave you 1 billion guns and weapons and the way that they did the skill tree with the co-op mixing it all together, that felt unique and brand new. Uncharted with the climbing mechanic and the storytelling and all that other stuff, and Dark Souls, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. This gen, we just simply got prettier experiences. I mean, as far as unique, the most unique thing that we've had so far is The Witcher. Okay? God of War, as good as it is, doesn't feel like an overall new experience. Spider-Man isn't new. It looks like the best iteration of a Spider-Man, but it doesn't feel new. Gears doesn't feel new. Last of Us isn't new. It just looks like a more visually polished Tomb Raider. Which is a good thing, but still, it's not new. So at the end of the day, regardless of your preferred platform, I'm trying to influence quality and innovation. And I'm trying to stand with the rest of the gamers that are trying to do the same thing. Not just look at everything through the prism of, well, this console ain't doing it, that console ain't doing it. Stop judging things by the lowest common denominator. This is technology. You're supposed to judge by the highest common denominator. I'm trying to influence quality and innovation. Not just sprites. We should all do the same. We should hold a fair litmus to everything, straight up. You want your console and and its competitors to do better. Really, if you think about it. You want them both to do better because it makes your product of choice even better. If they're running that 50-yard dash and they look over the shoulder, that motherfucker still is right there. They're like, oh, and they turn up the juice. You don't want what my homie, the real master, said hopes happens to y'all mugs where he said, look, I just hope Microsoft just dies off. I hope they just die off and they fell flat on their face and the only console that you can rely on is Sony. I really want y'all mugs to really see what you're getting into then. Because y'all praise Sony so much, they're going to go back to the trickery and the effery that they were trying to do with the PlayStation 3. Believe you me. You want your competition to do better. And just sitting there coming up with the silly stuff, you comparing Ghost of Tsushima that's not even out yet, that looks incomplete, to stuff that's out now. That's not a rational comparison. How about comparing it to Gears 5? Compare it to Gears 5. Does Ghost of Tsushima look better than Gears 5? We know when Gears 5 is coming out. Do we know when Ghost of Tsushima is coming out? No, we don't. So stop that. You know, when you're looking at everything through the prism of the console war, you just come up with outlandish arguments and things to base things off of, and it defeats the purpose, because at the end of the day, Microsoft still makes money for making the least effort. Sony could turn down the gas and say, okay, we done enough, and not really. The ball's in Sony's court. The ball's in Sony's court. It's time for them to break on through. Not just come up with a game that they can feel that they're comfortable enough with, that's going to be better than their competition. Because again, the competition's not running a race in that litmus right now. They're not running the AAA race. They happy with handing you off the trophy as long as they can make the trophy in their factory. Got it? My man Cyrus Burke says, Most, I'm telling you, bruh, pray. They also just dropped some DLC and finally new Game Plus. That game is as close as we got to a Bioshockish game, and that and Atomic Heart, but whenever that release. Philosopher Doom said, the vegetation station. I like that, bro. The vegetation station. Absolutely. Like I said before, man, I ain't never seen people get, this is what I'm saying, this is where you're holding to the lowest common denominator. I've never seen so many people so excited to see the same platform used over and over and over again. Everybody's in the woods. And there's the apocalypse, the human apocalypse. Man has died. But there's cucumbers every 5 feet. you can get some pears and some goddamn some basil every 5 feet in the human apocalypse. God damn. Ain't y'all tired of looking at that shit? Force them to do better. Stop holding the litmus at the lowest common denominator. Jesus Christ. They in the fucking woods. And that's what they do, dude. The vegetation helps sharpen the visuals. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Grass, foliage makes things look prettier. But that's just smoke and mirrors over the substance, over the gameplay. You had 50 games and finally came out with a good game that not only looks good, but plays good too. God of War. So stop it, man. Come on. Raise the bar. Raise the bar. And stop judging by the lowest common denominator, man. Y'all better than this, straight up. All right. So now that I've babbled on for about 28 minutes, Tip Diamond, what's going on, bro? Now that I've babbled on for all that time, let me go on to the creme de la creme, and let's talk about this show. All right. Let's do it. I don't have my sound effect board ready. You know, I do drum roll and all that fun stuff. All right. So, I got two things I'm rating. I'm rating presentations of the show and game of the show. Now, I got to say this. I'm going to talk a little bit about this after I give these awards out. E3 to me was very lackluster as far as the showcases were concerned. Very lackluster. I was hoping to have at least three, but I only have a runner-up and a winner. And we'll talk about them. And I'll talk about my game of the show. At least I got 5 of those. And then we'll talk about why some of the other people didn't make it. All right, so the presentation of the show is, runner-up is Ubisoft. Ubisoft showcased the things that were noticeable to me were Beyond Good and Evil 2. Now, again, that pre-alpha footage wasn't the most impressive, but it showed you that they're really working on something large scale and in depth, and that's what I like, man. That's pushing gaming forward. I wish it would be something that could be released this gen, because it would probably be the most innovative thing we would see this generation. But I don't think that's coming out this gen, and I'm hoping that they don't release it in the same time as Cyberpunk 2077, because you know what I'm saying, they're within the same arena. So it would be better if one could release this gen and one could release next gen. You know what I'm saying? I don't want want one game to get smothered by the other. But with that being said, Beyond Good and Evil 2 looked very promising. Even though that was pre-alpha footage and it wasn't the sharpest or had all the foliage, you know what I'm saying? Had all the vegetation, you know, but it was it showed that they were working on something grand scale. Real Time G says, what do Xbox got though? Oh, here we go, man. Look, here's my thing. What do Xbox got though? Nothing really. But Real Time G, let me give you some real time talk, man. I just gave you the situation when it comes to technology. We already know Microsoft is not trying to fight that AAA battle right now. So stop judging by the lowest common denominator. Stop it. That proves that y'all are damage controlling the lackluster showing of Sony by going, again, stop comparing the cup of piss to the shit sandwich. That's what y'all doing. Judge Sony off his own merits by itself. Stop doing the Donald Trump and bringing up Hillary Clinton. The campaign is over, bro. Now the ball is in Sony's court right now. Microsoft is not trying to fight that battle, and if they even giving a tip, they ain't doing it till next gen. Ball is in Sony's court right now. They can no longer live off of feasting off of Microsoft's carcass. The carcass is gone. Meat is gone. It's nothing but bones. So with that being said, being that Sony did something very bold and ballsy and unprecedented by saying the staples of our presentation is just going to be 4 games, and 2 of those 4 games look like shit, that is not acceptable. Again, running the 50-yard dash. If I'm running with you real-time G, because real-time stuff. If I'm running with you real-time G, and you trying to get the 50-yard dash because you trying to get on a football team or baseball team or a basketball team, and they say, all right, you're going to run with MM2K, he's going to help make you go faster. You know what I'm saying? All right, real-time G, you got to get the fastest time possible. Is what you going to do, let's just say, on your march to set, bang! You start running real time. Halfway there, you see me still tying my shoes. Are you going to stop real time, G? Or you going to stop? No, your ass is trying to take it to the next level. So you're like, oh, this mug is really playing. Boom, I'm out of here. And you really flying. That showcasing was Sony doing the opposite. Microsoft ain't in this thing, man. We just gonna do anything we can. We gonna have Carlos Santana come out there with the banjo. We just gonna do this piss poor presentation. We gonna show you a badass Last of Us, and that's gonna carry us all the way through. Spider-Man looked decent. I still got high hopes for that game. It's just that in that presentation, I didn't see anything better than I saw before. Ain't necessarily a bad thing, but I'm just saying, it got me still feeling the same about the game. It's going to be solid. It's going to do well. You can't say, oh, what does Microsoft got, though? You know what I'm saying? Metal Gear Survive / The Twilight Zone equals Death Stranding. That's okay, but we know all this, y'all, they pumping all this money into this? You okay with that? So stop. I mean, big ups to my homie Real Time G. I love all of y'all like children that I'm raised, man. But we gonna stop this. 2018, I'm gonna keep it pristine and clean. I done told y'all. We are no longer going to use these fanboy console war crutches to talk about games individually. But what's Microsoft doing now? No! Microsoft's not running that AAA race right now. They're out of it. Sony, there's balls in Sony's court. What the hell is Death Stranding? What is that? But I digress. Pick up to my homie Real Time Jim. Sorry, I just had to drop some of that medicine. You know what I'm saying, Tip? Sometimes it's jagged, sometimes it goes down smooth. Now back to my presentations of the show. Ubisoft, runner-up, had Beyond Good and Evil. Big up to my man Bloody Nuts. You know what I'm saying, in the chat. Division two. Division two look good. Not excellent. Look good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a little disappointed in the fact that visually and stylistically it looks identical. It looks like Division 1.5. I was hoping, more detailed animations, better looking graphic user interface, something, I don't know how much they can do between now and March 29th. Hopefully they can spruce it up, man. They got spruced that up a little bit, all right? And the biggest thing, man, which is the sleeper, I think the sleeper of the show, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, man. Assassin's Creed Odyssey looked super fantastic. Oh, man, it RPG game. It doesn't look like that it's falling too heavy on it falls too heavy on stealth. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what's up. Hold on, let me. Wifey's calling me. Let me just be patient with your boy. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that, y'all. It's uncommon for her to call me during the day like that, so I was just making sure everything is all right. Let me see here. Let me just text her. What's up? What's up? What's up? What? What's up? All right. So with that said, um, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey looks fantastic. Looks fantastic as a game. It's the best looking Assassin's Creed to me right now. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, what did I give the game? I gave the game a I gave this showcase a 7. Okay. So next on the list is Bethesda. They're number one. Number one is Bethesda. They had things like Elder Scrolls Blade, which I know is like a phone slash VR slash console slash PC game, but that whole concept to me is impressive. They showed Rage 2 that looks fire. And I wish, in talking to the real Maslin, I wish that they would. He brought up a very good point. I wish they had made a co-op and Wolfenstein 2 co-op. That old concept with the protagonists is twin daughters. In the future, you can do co-op on Wolfenstein 2. I'm hoping what they do is they add some more pop to the guns. You know what I'm saying? When you're shooting them guns, you don't feel that rumble like boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? They need to do that. Hopefully they'll do that too. And Fallout 76, man. Just the whole concept of it being online. You can play with other people. A co-op Fallout, man. TRS is probably jumping through joy, man. My co-host is Scram Punk. So with that said, I give that an 8. So nobody really knocked it out of the park for me. But Bethesda did good. They kept their fan base invigorated and happy. They even talked about some things that they normally wouldn't talk about, games down the road. And that Assassin's Creed Odyssey and seeing Beyond Good and Evil 2, man, Ubisoft is still killing it, man. They right behind Bethesda. So those are my presentations of the show. All right. Now, with that said, now let's go to the games of the show. All right. The games of the show. Number 5. Keep number 5 alive. Number 5 is Stormlight by Insomniac. Okay. Now, why did I pick Stormlight? Stormlight is a VR game. It's an open world VR game. And I urge all of y'all to check it out. It looks hella impressive. It looks hella impressive. Insomniac is working on some things now, man. Now that they like, full-time independent, man. And I would definitely check that out. Check out Stormlight. Looks very good. And I'm not one that really cares about VR, but that one really is something that popped my interest. And I caught that at the PC game show, which I normally don't watch, even though I am a PC gamer. But I'm glad I did. I saw some interesting things, some betas I signed up for. So, and for those of y'all that are looking for more than outside of the console realm, I mean, you really didn't get a lot, just some interesting things. But, you might want to adore the PC game show. But that Stormlight, man, check out the videos on that. That look hellified impressive. All right. Next, number 4 is Dying Light by Techland. Expansive, dynamic world shaped by the decisions that you make. Man, that's right up my alley, man. Thing look beautiful. Dying Light 2, excuse me. I'm sorry, is the game I'm talking about. The first Dying Light looked phenomenal. I loved it. And this game it looks like it's going to be expansive on that. Bigger, better, and bolder. That's what it's all about. So that made my number 4 of the games of show. All right, number 3, Devil May Cry 5. Woo, man! It was a tough decision between this one and my number 2 one, because Devil May Cry, man, it's been 10 years since they did a complete sequel. Man, that Devil May Cry 5 looks fantastic. I urge everybody to check out that game if you haven't seen it. And it's a day one buy for me. Day one buy. Definitely. All right. Let me check something here, because they said I cut out. I know I cut out when I went to go call my wife. I just want to make sure I ain't cut out now. 10 years since they did a complete... Okay, so I'm good. All right. Philosopher Dude says, I'm going broke for these games. I know, man. This is crazy. We were buying so much looking for gems. Now the gems is really starting to come out. And it's like, now we ain't got no money. I'm with you, bro. I'm tapped, man. I'm tapped. All right. So we coming up to the last 2. All right. Number 2 is... This is going to be controversial. This is going to be very controversial, because when I say what number 2 is, y'all going to know what number 1 is. Number 2 is, drum roll please, Assassin's Creed Odyssey by Ubisoft. Yo, Assassin's Creed Odyssey looks completely robust. It's an open world Assassin's Creed. I mean, the last one was too, but with dialogue, and it has a lot more action. What killed me on the Assassin's Creed series was the level of stealth that was needed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a real stealth type of dude. I like to have it as an option when necessary, but I really ain't no stealth loving type of dude. You know what I'm saying? But man, the showcase for Assassin's Creed Odyssey looked fantastic. It looked like this is going to be the best Assassin's Creed ever. And this is a day I have Assassin's Creed Origins only because I got it on PC with my my Yeti. And I really haven't gone into that too far. But this one is going to be a day one buy. This is a day one buy. And with that being said, the number 1 game of show, drum roll please, after all the smack I was talking, look, man, that Last of Us 2, man. Last of Us 2, yo. Now, I get it. I'm going to address this controversy real quick and brush this out. I get it. There were accusations about the presentation being fake, not actual gameplay, but rendered directed sequence in the game's engine. That came from Crystal Dynamics. But here's why it came from Crystal Dynamics. It came from Crystal Dynamics because they're salty. They're salty because, look, when Crystal Dynamics came on the scene with the original Tomb Raider reboot, They bit off of Uncharted, and they did it better in my eyes. Uncharted was a good story and all this other stuff, but the gameplay was lacking to me, was lackluster. They took the storytelling aspects of it, the cliffhanger aspects of it, and they put in very good gameplay, right? So then, Naughty Dog and Crystal Dynamics, I don't think they like each other, man. So then in turn, Naughty Dog was like, oh, I got you, pimpin'. They start taking elements from Tomb Raider. And then in Uncharted 4, they took the pickaxe joint. You know what I'm saying? They took the pickaxe joint in 4. And I'm pretty sure Crystal Dynamics ain't appreciate that. So what they do now, they up the ante a little bit more. They're like, hey, y'all feasting off our plate. Y'all came up here because of us. You know what I'm saying? So now we're going to make our Last of Us 2 demo look like some Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider joint. You know what I'm saying? And they're salty for reason number 2. It looks better than Shadow of Tomb Raider. Straight up, we got to keep it 100, man. I told you I'm coming down the middle. 2018, I keep it clean and pristine. It look better than Shadow of Tomb Raider. Some mugs are salty. So I imagine somebody sitting there with their yak or whatever they drinking, you know what I'm saying? And they sipping, they watching E3. They're like, oh, what's this? Somebody from Crystal Dynamics. They're like, oh, they done dropped their wine glass or whatever, dropped their yak. I'm like, man, what's this? Yo. And they just went ham on Twitter, man. So that's why they said that. Now, is there any truth to that? Possibly. I don't know. But I don't know. And because I don't know, I mean, watching it, I was like, this is, all this crazy shit that's going on right now looks too fluid, especially for Naughty Dog. But who knows? God of War came out of nowhere. Blowing, I would have never expected Santa Monica. They was about to close the mugs down to be able to have so much fluid gameplay like they got in God of War. So who knows? What Sony does, and again, it's a lie, it's a farce when they say they just give their gamers free reign. No, they work with them. They know what their demographic likes, and they have them pick elements from the successes of each other developer and implement them in their other games until they come up with a better product. And being that the gameplay was so fluid in God of War, I'm pretty sure somebody from Santa Monica was been lamping with mugs from Naughty Dog, getting them to get their gameplay fluid. You know what I'm saying? Those look like the finishing joints off, and some of them look like finishing joints off of God of War. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Back to the chat. Philosopher Deuce and Shadow of Montreal team working on it right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Who knows, man? But them mugs was sick. Them mugs saw that, man. They jumped out the window, man. That's what that's all about. And is there some validity to that? Yeah, but who's to say nobody else ever done that, man? Who's to say that don't happen on a regular basis? I mean, I don't know if it's worth them doing it. I saw somebody from Naughty Dog respond and try to shame tweet. They said that our rendition was such and such. No, don't do that. Don't do it like that. If you truly want to shut mugs up, have a playable demo. Have a playable demo. If you ain't got a playable demo, then just ignore it. That's simple. You can shut the mugs up by having a playable demo. If you don't have a playable demo, then just ignore it. But don't do them shame tweets, man. That looks real suspect. That looks real soft, man. It makes you look idiotic. Just let the mugs soak in their own accusations. Either ignore it or release a playable demo and really body them, you know? But yeah, man. That Last of Us 2, man. They did it with that one, bro. That was if that's the final product. If that's the final product, I look. I don't want to release too much. I have my thoughts on God of War. God of War is a fantastic game. Is it the best game this generation? When I'm done with it, I will give you guys my final score. With that being said, if that is the type of gameplay, and that is actual gameplay and is fluid and consistent, no doubt about it. Last of Us 2 is going to be the best game this generation. No doubt about it. There's going to be no doubt. There's going to be no about it. So with that said, That, my folks, was my best of show for E3 2018. Best of showcases. My best of show will be when I evaluate everything, when I get to see these, because they're doing a lot of extra showing behind the scenes and stuff that wasn't shown on the stage. So I'll have that this weekend. But right now, that's it. Best presentations were Ubisoft number 2, Bethesda number 1, and my games of show were Stormlight number 5. Check that out, please, because you likely missed that. Dying Light 2, Devil May Cry 5, woo, my goodness. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Last of Us 2 was number 1. So with that being said, this is your boy MM2K. Let me go in the chat real quick. Most, did you feel like Cyberpunk trailer came across different from CGI teasers they showed? Looked more serious before. Yeah, I think they had a concept earlier before, and now they fully fleshed it out. But I think it's going to be dope. I really think it's going to be dope. So with that said, my man Philosopher Doom in the chat. Big ups to Doom, Cyrus Burke, Bloody Nux, Tip Diamond, Real Time G. Appreciate you, bro. Cyrus Burke and 706 Gamer, man. I appreciate all of y'all. So thank y'all for listening. That was your boy's showcase show, best of the showcase. Streaming on PNTSnetwork.com as well. Check it out. We got stuff going there all the time. And with that said, I might be doing some stuff throughout the week. Stay tuned. Stay posted. Scram Punks is going to be the day. With that being said, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day.